This is the unforgiving diamond of professional baseball, where careers can be built on a single soaring home run or shattered by a single devastating mistake off the field. The Nippon professional baseball landscape has been rocked, but nowhere is the fallout more volatile than in Hiroshima, following the arrest of Carps player Hazuki. This isn't just a personnel issue, it's a cultural crisis, and the reaction from a particularly aggressive segment of the Carp faithful has crossed the line from mere loyalty into outright delusion, threatening to tarnish the entire organization's reputation. We have witnessed the emergence of what can only be described as a full-blown fan insurgency online, a desperate defensive strategy executed with the erratic fury of a closer who has completely lost the strike zone. The very first pitch thrown by this denial brigade was a hostile one, aimed directly at the heads of anyone daring to discuss the facts. We saw statements that sounded less like defense and more like criminal intimidation. Be prepared, those of you criticizing him will be arrested. That is a powerful, venomous opening salvo, setting the stage for one of the most astonishing examples of reality evasion we've seen in sports fandom. The narrative among these hardliners is simple, yet staggeringly complex in its lunacy. Hazuki is not a culprit, he is a victim. He has been framed. This is the cornerstone of their defense, the bizarre conspiracy theory fastball. They claim Hazuki was unwittingly targeted, perhaps given what they dramatically call zombie tobacco without his knowledge, used it innocently, and was then maliciously reported to authorities. Their tearful, highly emotional argument centers on the idea that the player is an innocent lamb led to slaughter, stating, Hazuki did nothing wrong, he was set up. He was just made to smoke something, reported. And now everyone is running their mouths. They are the ones who are truly dangerous. They will be arrested, not him. This is the definition of a defensive error in a high-leverage situation. It is the fan equivalent of an outfielder running straight through the wall trying to catch a routine fly ball. The reality, however, is a relentless, high-velocity pitch that cuts right through the emotional noise. The fact-checkers, the rational fans, and the general public responded with cold, hard logic that completely dismantled this fanciful plot.
The rebuttal was instantaneous, delivered with the sting of a 100-mile-per-hour fastball. How can he be framed when the police discovered drug paraphernalia and consuming equipment inside his own home?
The presence of equipment in his private residence completely shatters the "I didn't know what it was" or "it was planted" defense.
Skidar. If Hazuki were simply an innocent bystander, unknowingly given a substance in a public setting, the presence of specialized tools for consumption in his own house is an irrefutable piece of evidence. This is the ultimate ground out, ending the inning for the conspiracy theorists. But when logic fails, desperation takes the mound. Unable to counter the physical evidence, the denial faction shifted tactics from passive denial to active aggression.
Shedar, trying to scare off any dissent. Stop it right now. You are going to be arrested for defamation and slander.
This is the frantic, full-count brushback pitch, intended not to strike out the batter, but merely to intimidate them into backing away from the plate. Shedar, this strategy reveals the core pathology of this type of aggressive fandom, when their carefully constructed worldview, one that places their hero on a pedestal of unblemished virtue, is challenged by reality. They attack the messenger, not the message. Their self-identity is so intertwined with the player's performance and perceived moral character that the player's downfall becomes their personal, existential threat. They cannot afford to admit the truth, because admitting the truth means admitting their devotion was misplaced, or worse, that their idol was simply human and flawed. Yet, this relentless barrage of threats only succeeded in teeing up the most devastating counter-argument of the entire online skirmish.
The calm observers delivered the final, game-winning grand slam that shut down the conversation entirely.
Seda. They hit back with a perfect piece of ironic reversal, exposing the utter absurdity of the threats being thrown around. The message was simple and devastatingly effective. Be quiet and stay arrested.
The one who is currently arrested and silenced is your player, not the critics. It is a ruthless, surgical strike that reminds us who is actually locked down and facing criminal charges, and who is simply exercising free speech online.
It's the kind of razor-sharp analysis that leaves the defense speechless, caught looking at a pitch they never saw coming. This entire affair is a powerful, ugly reminder of the toxic tribalism that plagues modern sports. It moves beyond standard hero worship and enters a realm where blind loyalty morphs into aggressive, fact-denying paranoia. Seda, this incident, even if contained to a fringe element of the fanbase, cast a long, dark shadow. As they attempt to recover and look toward the remainder of the 2026 season, they are forced to deal not only with the loss of a roster spot, but also the deep reputational damage caused by fans who refuse to live in the same reality as the rest of the league. The question remains, when a professional athlete makes a profound mistake that violates the law and the trust of his organization, should loyalty trump reality? Should fans close their eyes and claim the player was framed, despite irrefutable evidence? Or is true fandom defined by the painful, necessary act of confronting the truth, accepting the consequences, and moving forward? We are watching a fan base grapple with a tough choice. Do they continue to throw wild, dangerous pitches of denial, or do they finally accept the score of the game? Let us know what you think. Is it love to blindly defend, or is it a duty to acknowledge reality? The comments section is open.